How's it going? 2003 BMW 525 IT Touring Wagon. Salvage. More about that later, but just for now, it's done. Let's see what it took to get there. We'll do a walk around here in a sec. Let's go over the pictures. This car came to me in a not so sorry state outside. Cracked front bumper, rock chips, faded paint. Not too bad. How many parts do we buy? This many parts. All in total, $1,500 worth of parts. How much does the car cost? More about that later. What? Absolutely garbage. Is this how people take care of their cars, especially BMW owners? Under the valve cover was an even worse story. Unbelievable. Don't think this car had ever had its oil changed in at least 20 or 30,000 miles. Reason why? It was leaking gallons of oil, puddles underneath the car when it was running. It was leaking from the valve cover so much it would smoke when it ran. Leaking from the oil filter housing. Leaking from the pressure line for the vanos. Leaking. I think the owner just kept adding and decided to never change it. Well, this is what happens. I went ahead and bought some Rotella diesel high detergent oil and put some cleaner through it. That's the result after a full oil change and filter. Dirty inside. Misused. There's the bad oil filter line with the good new one. The end, pivoted. Who knew? They're not supposed to pivot. I found that out when the new one came in and it was fixed in place. That was where the final leaks. Not too bad, I'd say. We're talking puddles 2 feet by 2 feet before I was getting going. Cracked front bumper. Not in the best shape. It took this much body work. Sanding. Rock chips filled. I melted the plastic back together. That's how I always do it. And then one of the coolest things you saw in the earlier videos, I changed the dim orangish halos for bright white ones. 30 bucks on eBay. You could even change them without even removing the headlights. All right, let's go look over the car. Is my turtle out to play today? He's always so hard to find. Let's get a look under the hood. First off, a hood that wouldn't even stay up when the car came. That's an easy fix. 5 minutes, $20 new hood struts. All new spark plugs under there. In fact, 2 of the 6 didn't even match the other 4. The oil filter housing I replaced is this guy underneath here. Bolts to the block. That's the old one there. New tie rod ends too, of course, so it could handle better. That's where the LED mounts for those halos. New paper air filter. New cabin air filters. I went ahead and did a full antifreeze change. What came out looked like sewer water. Again, poorly maintained. The only one I'm not showing a picture of is the transmission, which I did service. Fluid and filter change. Looks like it had never been opened. Had basically no dust particles in it. No metal. New shocks in the back. New struts up front. You can see the bolts there. Rides like perfect now. Here's that newly painted front bumper. That's where the crack was. Yes, it still leaks. Fog lights have been removed. They were missing their lenses, but I did repaint satin black the license plate frame, the trim pieces, the grille to make it look good again. This was a fender that had horribly faded paint. It had awful hash stripes on it. Painted just that fender. This rear top piece, it was horribly sun faded. The entire rear bumper. It had scratches galore. Looked awful. And then we painted just the driver's door handle. Honestly, we should have painted the whole hood, the whole driver's door, a bunch of other stuff. But the door handle was super faded all the way down to the primer. So now we got that all taken care of. Also, the rear hatch wouldn't stay open. It does now. Believe it or not, very difficult procedure. You have to remove this plastic cap, remove this plastic cap. I had to put a light down inside this hole to see exactly what I was doing. Mounted the new struts, it stays up now. This trim piece was missing when the car came. Got our sub, got our extra parts. Old radio trim bezel, front speakers, etc. Those crappy fog lights are in a bag. I told the customer I'm not putting these back on. You see anything missing? Yeah, the glass. Non-existent. He could have kept spending money on this thing. Eventually we would have got it all taken care of. Man, having a hatch that stays open, awesome. This hatch wasn't even from this car. Maybe that was part of the salvage. Customer decided to do vinyl BMW badges, his own color scheme, green and yellow. It's missing the 525 logo. Whoever removed the other one scratched the paint. I told him put a new logo on, hopefully it'll cover all the scratches. There's his green on the logo on the wheels too. Let's check out this interior. You saw how dirty it was. This is the same spot. Nice and fresh. Seats almost all like new. You believe it or not, soap and water first, then a nice leather care product at the end. So remember I said dash radio and stereo? Look at this beauty. It's made by Eon. Interface is really nice with the factory. DVD player, Bluetooth microphone up there. Really cool unit. Any Android app you can think of can be bought or purchased or gotten for free at the Android Play Store with Wi-Fi. So you have to turn your hotspot on your phone, but it would work. I don't know if that excites people, but there's an iPod hookup in here. Factory flashlight still in place. All interior LEDs been replaced with nice hyper white ones. No flashing. The domes, even the sun visors, which I didn't know only turn on when you open these with the key in the ignition, of course. Nice touch, BMW. Little features, tips and tricks. I had to reupholster the bases of these. The A-pillar covers look nice again, cleaned up the fabric. Overall, the interior is a great place. 2 of the windows didn't work. Passenger front, driver's rear, both working perfectly now with new window regulators. That was not fun, I don't recommend it. What do you say we go for a short drive, and then we'll also get to look at it out in the sun when we're done. I don't do editing, so bear with me. Is it gonna start nice? It's like a brand new car. I had lots of check engine lights to take care of over the course with this vehicle. Originally we had ones for mass airflow sensor, vacuum leaks, etc., etc. All those have been gotten rid of. Lately I had a emissions leak. Hopefully I resealed the gas cap. Haven't got that check engine light again in about 10 key starts. But these inline 6s are known for their smoothness. 114,000 miles on this salvage title vehicle. We'll see how much he paid for it, how much all the repairs cost. Just so beautiful. I can see why people like BMWs, not my cup of tea. Again, I was lucky that transmission came shifting perfectly. Of course, we added a backup camera. Driving with the windows open just so you can get a nice engine noise. When I got this car, suspension was clunky, crunchy. Now it's nice, firm, no noise. Honestly, the car handles great. Back to back to some of my other 90s cars. This is 2003, but still built and designed in the 90s. Great handler. Yep, no nunks, no clunks. Nice smooth transmission. Did the alignment, let me get going straight. Car does still have bad old tires on it. One of them's had a nail in it since the day I got the car. It's still in there. Never leaked, so I never added anything. They're getting new tires. All four BF Goodrich are like $300. Of course, there's mounting and balancing. Beautiful day in Vegas, 67 degrees. I'm actually gonna head to Holly LS Fest after the customer comes and pays for this. Remember, we got 1,500 in parts. We haven't gotten to the labor yet. What did it take to transform this awesome BMW back to the car it should be? Like I said, quick drive. Let's see if I forgot anything while I was talking. Replace the mass airflow sensor. Well, the car had a dead battery when we got it too. Wouldn't hold a charge. The battery cable seemed to be tight, but the little nut on the ground strap was actually locking in place and was not actually tightening the battery cable itself. Found that out when I twisted it off. Yeah. I definitely let a couple expletives out that day, but ultimately I went to the junkyard, got another battery cable, easy peasy, installed it. So that fixed the power drain, mass airflow sensor, fixed those lights. For check engine, gas cap fixed easily. Alright, we're not gonna wait at this light. Just so smooth. It does take a lot of revs with this little inline six to get this car moving. But once it is moving, it's fuel efficient. See, now we're cruising, gets up over the 30-40 mark at 50 miles an hour. I can't wait for the customer to get the new tires, because these ones are definitely out of balance, bald, mismatched, not all the same brands even, of course. No warning lights with any LEDs that we put in. Handle's awesome. Took that corner, what, 25, 30? I'm not saying I'm a wagon guy, but I can see the allure. Maybe a 540 wagon? What do you guys think? Maybe one of these with an LS swap, like all the cars I'm going to see later today at LS Fest. I know they fit in these. I've seen a 540 sedan with the LS motor in it. Alright, back to Silverado Ranch. Another corner. A little bit of a squeal. 90-degree corner at 30 miles an hour. I can't complain. I do like this little car. Never feel it shift. Never really hear the motor. I got one window down still. There you go, guys. Nice and quiet. So here we get to the part about the price. The owner of this vehicle bought it for $2,500. It was salvage. It is salvage, but you can title it, insure it, and drive it on the streets. The owner bought this as a daily driver. He's going to take it from work and back to home. Is it going to get the job done? I think so. Is it going to be reliable? Absolutely. Everything we could think of was done on this car to make it reliable. I mean, everything from the transmission, fluid and filter, engine spark plug tune-up, oil filter. Well, the oil just needed a whole redoing just because of all the leaks, the garbage that was in it, etc., etc. I can't believe how bad a shape people let their cars get into. But I guess salvage title, what did they care? Am I right? So $2,500 for the salvage title car, $1,500 in parts. Now we're at $4,000, still a pretty good deal, but that's not counting the labor. And that's where I make my money. I charge people $50 an hour with my multitude of expertise. I can't tint windows, can't wrap cars, but I do pretty much everything else. Custom lighting, paint work, body work, fixed the bumper that was hit, cleaned up the headlights, did everything I had to do. And the car ended up looking beautiful. How much was my labor? $3,500. I put in 71 hours. Was it worth it? Let's do the simple math. $2,500 on a car, $1,500 worth of parts, $3,500 in labor. How much are we at, guys? Come on. $7,500 car right there. Only 114,000 miles. Looks beautiful. That brand new painted front bumper, fender, nice perfect match. Awesome gloss factor, highly metallic. Actually more metallic than the paint that was on the car. Not the paint I would have chosen. Rear bumper looking sharp. Once it gets the new tires, possibly have the wheels redone. Is this car worth $7,500? It is to the owner. He's happy as can be. Coming to pick it up in about 45 minutes. Say goodbye to the Beamer. As always, goodbye for now.